Hello friends, Lightman here with another Phase 2 plan. This one focuses primarily on cleaning up the corruption in the US Congress. Well, before I get into the details of this plan, let me start with the logic behind it. 1. Money in politics. Lobbyists. The word sends a shudder through any room. Tingles of fear and loathing in commoners, and money-gasms in politicians. Whatever political problem you may find, odds are there's a lobby behind it. Because of Supreme Court cases granting corporate freedom of speech, Citizens United versus the Federal Elections Committee, and counting political spending as a First Amendment right, Buckley versus Vallejo, lobbyists have a form of legal bribery of congressmen to influence votes on laws that affect the lobby. 2. Ignorant oversight. Senate oversight committees. Almost as bad as lobbies. Senators who, as often as not, have at best a layman's understanding of what they are overseeing, especially on scientific and medical issues. I believe that experts in the fields that Congress oversees should have a say in the laws that affect those fields. A doctor to discuss stem cell research and disease research, a climate scientist to talk about the environmental impact of pollution, an astrophysicist to propose NASA budgets, an admiral to tell what ships the Navy actually needs to complete its mission, a farmer to discuss crop and herd regulations and GM crop issues, or a social worker to discuss Social Security and welfare. Now into the plan. Senate and House member reform. Senate. Instead of 2 senators per state, which then break down into oversight committees and subcommittees, there should be 1 senator per state and major territory, like American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. 1 senator total for the minor outlying islands: Baker Island, Howland Island, Jarvis Island, Johnson Atoll, Kingman Reef, Midway Islands, Palmyra Atoll, Wake Island, and Navassa Island. 1 senator for each branch of the military: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. 1 senator for NASA and the rest of the aerospace industry, and 1 senator for each major governmental department: agriculture, commerce, education, energy, health and human services, housing and urban development, interior, justice, labor, State Department, transportation, and the Treasury. And then 1 senator representing the intelligence community: FBI, NSA, CIA, and Homeland Security. Now, onto the House of Representatives. Instead of a variable number of representatives per state based on population, there should be 1 representative per county and island territory or overseas military base. And here's where the flame war begins. 1 representative per lobby. Now, before you get your panties in a bunch, in the context of this proposal, I define a representative lobby as follows: any non-profit organization, company, church, union, guild, or combination thereof, whose average of membership as percentage of U.S. population and total tax contributions as percentage of total federal taxes is 1% or more of national totals, and agrees to be represented by a member of said group. What this means is any group, former lobby, political action committees, and corporations that represent at least 1% of population and federal tax revenue, the numbers are averaged, has as much importance to the nation's lawmaking as a county, or, under the old system, a fraction of a state. In the case of both the representative lobby and government branch congressmen, the congressmen are elected from amongst the constituency they represent. Example: the Army senator is a serving member of the Army, elected by serving Army members, and the Walmart representative, assuming Walmart makes up 1% of the population and economy, is elected by Walmart employees from Walmart employees. In exchange for lobby representatives, pre-reform lobby activities, campaign donations, and running campaign ads in the name of politicians by individuals or groups that are registered members of any constituency is considered treason in the case of the politician accepting the donations or lobby activity, and sedition in the case of the lobbyist in question. Campaign donations and political ads are still allowed by parties and representative lobbies for their candidates. It just requires registration and incorporation into a representative lobby for corporations and activist groups to make such financial actions, and then only for candidates within the lobby. What this plan does is both give nonprofit orgs a voice, at least for one congressional cycle, if they can work together and register 1% of the population to their cause, and it puts a definite face on who is voting for and against laws. C-SPAN would have David Koch, Koch Industries, Republican, on the screen when Koch brothers funded laws are being, or when a formerly Koch funded senator is filibustering a bill. My issue with lobbies is the amount of influence, especially fairly secret influence, they have. This proposal is to grant transparency to the problem of money in politics, while admitting that companies and groups that represent a whole number percentage of the population and economy should have a say in laws that affect them. Now, this plan can be adapted downwards to the state level by replacing states with counties in the Senate and counties with cities in the House, or upwards to UN level, replacing Senate states with countries and House countries with states. The EU, US, China, African Union, and other supranations would be the countries, and their member states would be the House states. But I'll make another video later better describing globalization and localization of this plan. Please limit comments and complaints to how this video pertains to the United States Congress. The next video on this topic will describe details on what the Senate Department congressmen pertain to and potential representative lobby identities. Now, some may be yelling at me through the screen at this point. I did mention churches on the list of potential representative lobbies. Churches and other nonprofit organizations can become eligible for representative lobby status by claiming their income for taxes. Just like there should be no taxation without representation, hence using the percentage of federal tax contributions as a criteria, when it comes to a body whose biggest purpose is determining the spending of that tax money, there should be no representation without taxation. I'll leave you with that. As always, comments and video responses telling me how I'm wrong, or right, there's always a first time, are always welcome. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.